Where did you get this?
On a dig down in Thebes.
Jonathan, I think you found something.
They came to uncover its secrets.
Mummies, my good son. This is where they made the mummies.
They sought to unlock its treasure.
And then there was light.
Oh, boy.
Was unleash a force unlike any the world has ever known.
You must not read from the book!
Welcome back, you guys. Thank you very much for joining us. This is the Millennial Classics. On this podcast, we talk about the best and most memorable movies, music, and culture-changing events from our generation. And it's with yours truly today, Swadik Mayanja and Mamburi Makaya. Mamburi, tell the people, what is a classic that we're talking about today?
All right, that's good. It's good that you brought that up. Because today we're talking about the Mummy.
Mm-hmm.
And I told Swardik that this is going to be the next Millennial Classic. I said that this is locked in. It's this national treasure,
right?
Locked in. And then I watched it, and I think we're going to talk about this later. But I think this is later going to be just missed it. Just missed the cut.
Just missed the cut, huh?
Borderline.
So,
I'm gonna steal it.
What?
I'm gonna steal the Declaration of Independence.
Boom! Shakalaka turner! You're out on the floor! Ejectocito, cuz! It worked! I love this part! Please! Come on!
Goodbye, Benny.
So, look, listen. We did this for the Too Fast, Too Furious situation too, right? We really need to start, there has to be a criteria into which what makes something a millennial classic. Because I feel like we are too biased, right? I feel like there has to be some rule of thumb. But at the same time, who gets to judge a millennial classic besides two millennials, right?
Well, here's the thing. It's it's half of it is what you remember it being, and half of it is what it actually is.
Exactly.
And this gets an A+ in what I remember it being, and gets a B- in what I just watched.
B- is a high grade, motherfucker. This shit was wild. This shit was wild. This is below average. What it actually is definitely. But I'm thinking about it, bro. And when I looked at it and I saw that it was made in 1999, the CGI is not bad at all.
I literally wrote down the CGI sucks. Did not age well. There's some parts of it
but what are you comparing it to, Maburi? What are you comparing this movie to? That's my point. In 1999.
Demolition Man looks better than this. Demolition Man looks better than this.
Demolition Man.
Honestly, if Wesley Snipes was in this movie, that would be interesting.
What would Wesley Snipes be doing in this movie?
He could be the Mummy. He could be.
Oh my God. Oh my.
If Wesley Snipes is the Mummy, think about how confusing that shit is. People are
the darkest motherfucker is all right, wait. That's perfect. So let's talk about this cast, okay? Let's talk about this cast because look.
This cast is one person in in Yellowface away from being the whitest cast of all time.
It really was, bro. I'm telling you. Look, I don't know how this movie. Wait. I know you always know this stuff. Do you know how much money this movie made versus how much money it cost to make this movie?
So this movie was a huge hit.
Yes, it was. I remember it being a huge hit.
It made $416 million worldwide.
Oh, Jesus. Okay.
I think it was 150, 160 domestic, and then the rest overseas.
Mm.
And I think the budget was 80, but the director said they only spent 62 million.
That's fantastic.
And it wasn't on the cast because I don't think any of the cast is that expensive.
No, they can't be. Rick O'Connell. I am not a fan.
You don't like Rick O'Connell?
Bro, I thought I liked him so much more.
He's the best. His character and Benny.
I love Benny. I couldn't get myself to like I don't know. There's nothing that pulls me into Rick O'Connell's.
No, the drunk brother that's a pickpocket. Good. Jonathan, he's a good character, and Benny. Those are the two, I think, most interesting characters.
Yes. Goddamn it. Every time Benny's on the screen, I'm laughing, I'm giggling. It's
such a cool character, but also it's like he's white too. I mean, why is everyone when you figure he would be at least Egyptian?
Right? No, anyone that matters in this movie is white. And it's just through and through. But what's it called? Evelyn, can we just talk about the two main characters, please?
Yeah. Brendan Fraser kills it.
Brendan, we have to agree to disagree, okay? But Brendan Fraser and Rachel Weisz. No, he does not kill it. He does not kill it. Brendan Fraser, this is like, you watch this movie and all I can think in my head is, they were trying for Indiana Jones. And you have to be honest. Indiana Jones.
This is a scarier version. This is supposed to be like Indiana Jones meets like it was like classic. It's a remake. And it's supposed to be Indiana Jones meets like a scary monster movie.
And I respect it, but it's a poor man's Indiana Jones. It's definitely, it doesn't live up to it.
If you compare it to Harrison fucking Ford,
that's my point, bro. That's my point. I wanted to believe Rick O'Connell, but I couldn't, bro. I couldn't get myself to believe him.
Nah, he's fun. Like
the entire time, he's just like, he's not funny enough for me to be laughing.
He's fun.
He's okay.
He has this kind of like earnestness. It's like
there's no earnestness about him.
It's literally, if you watch him in the first Journey to the Center of the Earth, and like he does really well, like jumping around, hanging from stuff, generally being like a action guy. I think he does really well in this. I did think halfway through that Will Smith would have destroyed this role in 1999.
He would have. Look, he's not charismatic enough for me to just like want to be him, right? He's too much of a dick for me to laugh at his mean jokes to fucking everybody, right? He's not smooth enough. He's not smooth enough for me to believe that he's this smooth, suave ladies man. Like he's not enough of anything for me to like be sold on that, right? And they want him to be this badass dude who doesn't give a shit, who's gunslinging. Like,
there's one point where he has two pistols, shoots him,
bro.
Runs out,
he points
throws
me as
the
two pistols,
and then grabs two more pistols. I don't know from where. And I literally circled, dude. Right? Two pistols look so good. If you're an action star, your director's like, I'm giving you one pistol, you got to be like, nah.
No. My contract says two. My contract says two. I really did want to like him as a main character, but I couldn't get myself to. But I have to say the opposite of Evelyn. How do you say her last name? Because I want to say Weisz. Rachel Weisz. So it was the opposite for Evelyn, because I did not, and like when you just like how you said, like Millennial Classics is a lot about what you remember, and I didn't remember much about her. And in that first scene she's in where she's like balancing on the ladder like a silly human being, I was like, she's gonna be the worst part, and this is the reason I didn't remember her.
Her character was like the most vanilla. She's like, oh shucks, I'm a librarian. That kind of.
But I believed it, Mumburi. I believed it.
You believe she's like some super smart librarian. She's like 23. She knows everything about Egypt. She's fucking schooling the head of the Cairo Museum.
By the way,
Egypt. She's like 24. That woman should be 45. If we're being,
did we watch the same movie?
She should be 45.
Okay, I agree. She should be 45. Yeah, she might be a little younger, but I believed her character. Her dad was an adventurer, and her mom was Egyptian. It makes sense that she's a librarian. That's
invested in the character, huh?
It makes sense. I believed her character. Yes. Oh, are we gonna have to? I have a whole section just based on how bad of a movie this is. Post Me Too. Oh my God. Mumburi, we have to talk about it.
It's a period piece. Even if it was made now, it takes place in 1930.
I saw something like 1935 or some shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course it was a period piece, but like some of this shit is just blatantly just you can't.
Like what? Like what?
Okay, let's go down the list since I brought this up. Okay, so first of all, the kiss that Rick O'Connell does at jail when he's like, "Come closer, come closer." Then he kisses her
the next day.
Huh?
If he's dying the next day and he's in jail.
Yeah, respect. I'm saying post Me Too. That's not a good look. Okay.
You want to know?
Well, yes.
Do you really want to know?
Yes.
Now it's fine, bro.
Okay.
I'll die on that hill. If you're gonna get hung the next day, you'll kiss whoever you want, bro.
I'm sure you will do whatever you want, right? And you can have your last meal and you could do it. But I'm saying it's not a good look and it's not necessary. It's just not necessary. All right. That's number one. Number two, at that same scene, the jail scene, when she's talking to the jail guard and he's like 500 and what else? I'm a lonely man and touches her lap. I'm like, oh my fucking God.
500 pounds.
Wakaf andak. And what else? I'm a very lonely man.
You know that's what would happen in real life. This movie's going for it. It's really going for it.
All right. I'm not even halfway done. Okay. When they were talking about getting the camels versus the horse, and then Rick O'Connell tells the drunk brother Jonathan, you could have gotten him for free if you just gave her your sister. So giving someone your sister is considered free? Like, Mulberry, this is wild, okay? And then the dude, the main archaeologist on the other guy, he's like, they're led by women. What does a woman know?
He's the bad guy.
Of course he's the bad guy, but some of this, it's like they're not even trying. It's like they're not even trying, and they're just throwing the most sexist bullshit at the screen. Forget about the setup for the whole movie. And this whole movie is about, by the way, I love the names of the characters. Imhotep and Anaxunamun, great fucking names. Great
Imhotep,
names.
That's one of the things, like, ingrained in you as a kid is just everyone yelling Imhotep. But you're missing one last thing about that Me Too rant you just went on. How about the emperor in the beginning not letting anyone look at his wife, and then his wife is walking around just like cheeks out, like, oh, I don't even know what she's wearing,
bro.
But she's just walking around the palace. Just look.
Yattamitatan.
No, I was literally about to end on that because I was going to say the entire setup of this movie starts off because of a bullshit. Like, this dude is like, he's so insecure. He doesn't let any other male touch her. So he paints her in gold to make sure any fingerprints get to see on her. Number one. And number two, and by the way, when Anaxunamun stabs herself as a nurse, as a healthcare provider, I know it was for the show and it looks cool when you stab yourself, but stabbing yourself in the stomach is literally the worst way to commit suicide.
You're going to die slowly over the course of hours. You're going to die
so slowly. In fact, they could probably save you and then kill you and torture you after.
Not in ancient Egypt.
Oh, no, that's a good
I'm going
point.
to say this. I'm going to say this. I think you're going to have to reevaluate yourself because right now you're trying to Me Too a pharaoh of Egypt from like
no.
You have to relax, bro. This shit, all these guys, it's like this is just what happened, bro.
Yes, and understood. Respect. It makes sense. Of course, it makes sense. I'm just saying there's a lot of things that I feel like they could have made it a little bit more interesting. Just a little bit more interesting than saying they're not going to make it because a woman is their archaeologist. Can you give me something else? Give me something else. Just give me something. They have less money, so they don't have enough of enough tools. Something
How much less money?
Makes sense. I don't know. They 70%? Were fucking writing. Exactly. Going back to the fact that they have fantastic names, I actually looked up this stuff, right? None of it is true. It's not.
Wait, you thought this was true?
No, you know how they make movies based on mythology, like Zeus and Hercules and stuff like that? I thought maybe
that's not true either, right?
You know what I mean? I thought it was like an actual mythos that happened in Egypt, but no, this is just straight up made up, straight out the air, written in 1999 for this movie. I really was hoping, because I thought it was super cool about the planet of the dead, the city of the dead, and all of this stuff. I was like, this
a lot of stuff was named of the dead in this movie.
Yeah, everything was named of the dead. The city of the dead, the temple of the dead, the tomb of the dead, the fucking mummy of the dead. Everything was of the dead. It could have been a little bit more creative, but I thought the concept was cool enough for it to be real. That's why I actually looked it up. So what was this movie rated? Was it rated R?
PG-13. They had to paint her. They had to paint her dress in the boat scene. When she had a white dress and she fell into the water, they had to paint it white to keep that PG-13 rating. From being see-through. Yes, as a kid. This was the scariest shit.
This movie was scary as fuck, bro.
For some reason, when I remember this movie, I thought it was like a swashbuckling action-adventure movie.
Right?
And when I just watch it now, I was like, I forgot how much these fucking scarab beetles scared me as a kid.
Bro,
I forgot how scary this movie was, and also I forgot like large portions of the plot. Some of this plot just went out of it. I think the entire beginning intro scene with Imhotep, ancient Egypt, that part just glossed over. I completely forgot that part. I don't know why I thought it just started in modern times.
No. I definitely didn't forget that part. What I forgot was the beginning scene with the horses and the army. I'm like, what are we fighting about right now? What's going on? I was so confused, right? I was so confused when they were shooting, and Benny's like, "All right, deuces."
Deuces. Yeah. Benny's a great character.
He's such a good character, bro.
And by the way, that look that the Magi have with the Arabic tattoos, Arabic face tattoos look mad good.
Okay.
They look mad good.
Okay, all right. Can we please stop? Bro. I have that in my fucking Word doc. I was like, this.
You don't think they look good?
No, it's not that I don't
think they pull it off.
They do pull it off, right? But can we talk about that character for a hot second?
What is he? What's written on his face?
I have no idea. I don't know. I didn't read it, but it does look cool. You're right. The tattoos look cool, right? It looks like a much more sophisticated. Who's the rapper with the face tattoos?
Who's the rapper with the face tattoos?
No, not the one everyone makes fun of that looks like a bum.
Oh.
Wait, what's his name? You know who I'm talking about.
6ix9ine.
No. 6ix9ine's the colorful hair. He looks like a bum.
Kevin Gates?
No.
Now you're gonna get me killed.
You're just throwing everyone under the bus right now. What's his name?
You gotta start saying names.
Post Malone. Post Malone. He looks like
Post Malone could be Benny.
Post Malone could have been what?
Benny. He could have been Benny. I would have believed that.
Of course. That's exactly what I mean. That's exactly what I mean. But no, he pulls it off. But that scene, the Egyptian dude who's just there protecting the city of the dead.
Yeah.
Let me.
That's a tough shift.
That is a tough shift, bro. That's exactly what I wanted to say. He was standing in the exact same spot 3 years apart.
Black, bro.
3 years apart.
Mm-hmm.
He's standing there the second he's leaving. Okay, because that I get. They just finished fighting. But he just happens to be standing at the same exact place 3 years later.
That's the spot.
That's just the spot. He's just there every single day, just making sure no one's coming to the city of the dead.
Well, you don't have to go there every day. Just when you hear some people are coming over, you go over there and check.
Because you could hear across the fucking desert, right? Because that's how it works. Okay.
That shot though is probably the best looking shot of the movie when it's nighttime and they're going on the camels. They're about to fall asleep and it's like dark blue.
Yeah, no, it is. It is pretty. It is. Wait, did you really not like the CGI? I was impressed.
There were some sections. Anything that was liquidy looked bad. The mummy looked disgusting. Really good. It aged really well, but anything that was liquidy.
Yeah, that water scene, whatever shit was bullshit. Yeah. And that final scene where his dead body gets pulled out of him, like his immortality gets pulled out of him, bro, that looked like it was made like That was
And
horrible.
I have to say, like, they did a good job because making a mummy scary
is hard.
Is hard. And this movie's way better than the Tom Cruise movie that they just made.
Oh, yes.
This movie's way better.
Can we compare the two?
We'll compare it when we're talking about casting choices and stuff like that. Let's talk about what's your favorite scene?
My favorite scene. So going back to my favorite character, which is Benny, when he finds the blue, what's it called? When he's the praying scene. When he has to do the 5 different shades and he prays the 3 different gods. Mm-hmm. You know, I rewinded that scene twice. I love that scene.
May the good Lord protect and watch over me as a shepherd watches over his flock. Ya ilahi, sayyidni alayhi, khafani. No. Okay.
Because what would you do? Like, Benny is a real human being. He's scared out of his fucking mind. And
no one just dips, though. That's the only thing about this movie is no one just flat out.
No, on the other team, the archaeology team, right?
Those 3 guys.
No, not the 3 guys. There were like a bunch of them.
Yeah, but there were like 4 guys that opened the case. Those are the guys that were cursed.
Those guys were cursed, but then there was a scene after that when they go back the next day, right? There's a group of them that just end up running away.
Yeah.
Yeah. So some people do dip.
No, I'm talking about when he shows up, when Imhotep shows up to kill you. No one flat out.
Oh, yeah.
Everyone like either tries to shoot him a couple times and tries to face him or whatever, and then they like slip.
They slip. Someone always has to slip. Oh, bro. That dude who gets his eyes taken out, fucking scary as shit. No, but that was my favorite scene, bro. Benny is so good, bro. I was laughing so hard. The 3 different prayers.
Really well.
It was so well. And it made it, I love the fact that after he spoke Jewish, I was like, oh my goodness, the language is, this makes sense. I love it. It's like the whole thing was put together. I love that scene. It
would be a pretty funny movie if he was the main character.
Benny?
Yeah.
He couldn't be the main character.
No, if he was the main character and he was...
Bro, you can't take that dude seriously. I mean, you need to do something else besides laugh at the main character. You can't laugh at the main character the entire time. I mean, you can't. You can't. Unless it's a comedy. Your favorite scene.
My favorite scene is a boat attack. It's like really well done. Mm-hmm. It's fun. It's like probably the closest to Indiana Jones this movie gets.
Yes.
Because they don't really do the line up this crystal with the sun and it bounces off. They almost do that. They like get the break ancient mirrors and you think, oh my God, like something's happening. And then they just don't do anything. There's no puzzles in this movie. Exactly. There's no like, you have to climb up here to get a vantage point to look. No, none of that.
Exactly.
But on the boat, when it's like the rival archaeologists are on the boat and then he tosses Benny off the boat. And then you see the water tracks back on the boat. And he's like, oh, shit.
Yes.
And then that whole fight scene. And then the best part is when the bullet's like getting shot in the wall, closer and closer to his head.
Very
she
good.
Moves it.
Yes.
That part just looks mad good.
What are you going to do? What are you going to do?
Wait here! I'll go get help!
Right!
It is a really good scene. It is a really good scene.
And he unrolls the gun bag. Oh, dude, everyone likes a good gun bag. And he unrolls it.
Yes. The gun touting Americans, they hate Americans in this movie. Every scene about those two, the brother and sister Evelyn and Jonathan, they're like fucking Americans.
They don't do anything.
Americans. They don't do anything. They really don't do anything. But I'm like, relax with
it's
the American
their fault
hate.
that this entire movie happens.
Exactly.
Those 2 characters. But now I'm getting into it. I didn't even know why I'm defending them. Anyway. No, but those guys are supposed to be like the classic.
I know, but they make them so stupid, right? They make them really, really stupid. Yeah, but like at the same time, you can't. I don't know. I'm like torn between the two because The movie,
I like it when they're about to open the casket and then he's like, "Nah, let the help open that shit." I was like, word.
No, but like what I'm saying is like I'm so torn on this movie because like half the movie wants you to take it super seriously, right? And it's like they're bringing back the dead and it's all the serious stuff. And then the other half of the movie, like you said, she moves his head so the last bullet misses him, right? Betty's making some crazy jokes on the side.
He does the emo tap to join with the crowd.
Oh yeah,
that was like Scooby Doo or Flintstones. Or
exactly, bro. Exactly. Why didn't they get the boils? You know what I mean? How the entire city got all the boils on their faces except for the 5 main characters in the movie.
What boils on their face?
What the people who were screaming emo tap.
Oh, because he got them, right?
What do you mean he got them?
He made them his slaves.
The people. Why wasn't there anyone of note that joined the slave team? Right?
I think you have to be Egyptian. You have to pass the brown paper bag test.
You probably do, and it's so true. I was about to say that.
This movie is the king of useless sacrifices. I hate when movies do this.
Exactly.
Where it's like everyone can just escape if you just do it on time, but one character like whips out his sword and just dives into a crowd and says, "Run for it,
go for it."
This movie does that twice.
Wait, remind me, please.
The Egyptian head of the museum, who just has a katana or a sword.
You mean the Museum of Antiques? I was like, wow, what a name of a museum. I was like, all right, great. Museum of Antiques. Good, thank you. But yes, I do remember
dives in the crowd. I mean, that dude could have just gone down the hole quick. Exactly. And then the other guy who is just like runs out of bullets and charges in. It's like they had dynamite. Just throw the dynamite in and let's get out of here.
Right. So look, you're so right. The second after.
So what was your favorite scene?
My favorite scene was the praying. With
the praying. Okay.
The praying. No, you're right, because the second after he runs in there, they use the dynamite to throw it and it blows up. It's like it really doesn't make sense. And he's alive at the end. He's alive.
Yeah. And I think this was like peak Beetle. Like it's between this and Volkswagen.
Wait, what do you mean?
Like Scarab Beetles? I don't think Scarab Beetles have ever been hotter than 99. Right?
Yeah, that's such a good point.
He's like flicking him off the wall. I was like, I don't know what Scarab Beetles is doing on walls.
I love that scene. That fat dude, the jail dude with the warden, when he flicks it off the wall and he does that the stand.
Yeah.
Fantastic scene, bro. Fantastic. So we talked about mainly the cast. Who is the MVP? Who do you think this is their movie?
I think the MVP is Brendan Fraser, obviously.
Oh my God.
Because I really like his performance. You don't?
I don't like his performance. I really don't like his performance. Maybe I need to rewatch The Mummy 2 to see if he's any better.
Watch The Mummy 2. Watch The Mummy 3. Actually, if you want to see the difference, watch Journey to the Center of the Earth with him, and then watch the sequel with Dwayne The Rock Johnson. And you'll see that they bring different things.
And you're saying that this is Brendan Fraser's... They bring different things.
Last guy left. I'm gonna be the last guy. I'm like the guy who's holding out the crude oil right now, bro. It's me and Brendan Fraser all the way. I'm just watching the stock. I had such a hard time with him throughout the movie, man.
I couldn't connect. I couldn't connect it at any level. But okay. I mean, I'll take your word for it.
You know what? He seems like him, Nicolas Cage, and who's the Independence Day Jurassic Park guy? Goldblum? Jeff Goldblum. They all seem like weird people in like a good way, eccentric.
No, but that's the thing, Mumbury. That's the thing. Brendan Fraser, he's not enough of anything. He's not eccentric enough for me to believe that he's eccentric. He's not, because he's supposed to be a cool guy in this movie. He's not supposed to be eccentric. Everyone else is supposed to be eccentric. Jonathan is the dumb brother. Evelyn is the super smart nerd librarian. He's supposed to be the cool guy. And
you want me to tell you who their first choice was for this movie?
Please tell me, because I can see anyone else do his job. Please.
Jesus. Tom Cruise.
Done.
Brad Pitt. Matt Damon, Ben Affleck.
Oh my
Brendan Fraser got this role because they liked him in George of the Jungle. And George of the Jungle made a bunch of money.
Okay.
And I also found this little tidbit, but I think this is pure bullshit, but apparently Leo liked the script so much and he wanted to do the movie, but he had to film the beach and they wouldn't let him move the beach film time, so he couldn't do this movie. But that just seems like horse shit. There's no way DiCaprio does The Mummy.
I always said that DiCaprio is really good at picking movies, right?
Yeah.
I always said that.
Edgar.
Yeah. But this movie made a shit ton of money. And the reason we rewatched it is because we thought it was a Millennial classic. So it's not a bad movie. It definitely isn't a bad movie.
It's not a bad movie. Right? And like we said, it's
but can you see, but a young Leo? Yeah. I mean, he did The Departed. Of course he could do this movie. Why don't you believe he would have done this movie?
No, I believe he could have done this movie. I think that was fake. I think that was something like the producers said.
To just hype up.
I don't believe he actually was like, you know what? I really want to do this movie, but I got the beach. Can't fit it in.
Yeah, no.
I feel like if Leo had said, "Yeah, I want to do this movie," they would have been like, "All right, we'll push it back."
Yeah, they would have done anything to get Leo on. They would have done anything. I definitely believe that. But at the same time, Brendan Fraser in the 90s, the late 90s, early 2000s, he was a big star.
He had a lot of duds too. He had like 3 bombs in a row, and then came back for The Mummy 2.
Oh, okay. Oh, so you're saying in between The Mummy and The Mummy 2?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
that makes sense.
Yeah, made 416 worldwide, had 2 sequels. Third one with Jet Li takes place in China. Gotta get that.
You gotta get that Chinese. Yeah, you gotta get that Chinese money. You could see now everything's happening in China. See that last Transformers movie?
Yeah, where they should just speak Chinese for the last half of that last Transformers movie.
Bro, the amount of
start speaking Mandarin.
The amount of Chinese, what's it called? What you know how they have ads
pandering?
In movies?
It's
no,
pandering.
Exactly, straight pandering. It was insane. So who did you like the least? Worst person? LVP.
I want to say the museum curator guy.
Yeah, that's obviously a good choice.
But I think they make him comically too bad, and I hate the fact that they make like all the Egyptians just like.
Yeah,
2-dimensional characters.
Exactly.
Because in the beginning, they literally have the map, and this motherfucker just burns it right in front of these 2 people and tosses it on the ground. He's like, "Yeah."
I was gonna talk about that. And then he was like, "For the better." Like, even if you don't believe it, you don't burn history.
Someone else's shit.
You own a library and you burning history. Is this 4/11, 5/11, whatever that movie is? Fahrenheit 5/11, 9/11. But yes, no, I respect the LVP. And I know you've been talking about this the entire time and how they have been treating all of the Egyptians as secondary, like not even secondary characters. It's just like 2-dimensional characters.
Don't worry, when we do the remake, I'm going to do the same exact thing. Gotta keep this. I'm going to whitewash this shit. There's going to be no people of color. It's going to take place in Egypt. There's going to be no Egyptians. It'd be great.
Zero Egyptians. But I had that as my LVP, all of the Egyptians, right? Like it got, so the crazy thing about it.
They make good slaves for Imhotep, though.
They did make great slaves for Imhotep. And Imhotep, what's it called? We keep calling him Imhotep. What's his actual name? Who was the
Arnold
Vosloo, right? He actually looks Egyptian. So like he looks the part. So
he's South African, right? He's good. He was in Blood Diamond.
Yeah, I enjoyed him. I enjoyed him as Imhotep, and I believed like when he spoke the language, it didn't sound like he was using a fake accent or like some bullshit. It sounded legit.
It was fake though.
Of course,
they had
it was.
to make up all those sounds.
LVP was all the Egyptians because they made me really enjoy like Egyptian culture, but they didn't give a single Egyptian character any juice.
I think if they remake that movie now, the woman comes back and they have a girl-on-girl fight scene for like.
Oh yeah, most definitely.
Yeah,
most definitely.
I think that's what they do.
Oh,
they bring her back all the way, and then her and Rachel Weisz have a fight scene.
So you enjoyed the action in this movie, right?
Action was good. The thing with this is it's really forgettable.
Exactly.
Besides that boat scene, it's really slow.
Did you not? Like when you remember the movie, did you not remember the face in the sandstorm? Like
face in the sandstorm's iconic, but that's not really a fight scene. That's like them flying in and the
Oh, but
like
I'm not calling it like fight scene, but like just action scenes in the movie were fantastic.
That's probably the most iconic part.
Yeah.
And then the Scarab Beetle. I remember the Scarab Beetles, the emo tap.
That was freaky. That really was freaky.
And then the like charging horses in the beginning.
I actually forgot about that. That's the one part that I was like, oh my goodness, that this did happen in the movie. But I did forget about it. But when it was happening, I was like, oh, makes sense. So casting what ifs.
I talked about casting. They pretty much wanted Rachel Weisz. I think everyone else was
like a shoo-in, basically.
Yeah. And then like when it comes to where they are now,
Brendan Fraser has fallen off the planet. He's gone.
He does like TV. I think he was in The Affair. I think he's on some DC show on Titans or something like that. Rachel Weisz is probably it's the most famous person here by far.
Yeah, just going down the list, I think she really is.
She's going to be in Black Widow that comes out whenever that comes out.
If it ever comes out.
She was just in The Favorite. I think she got nominated for an Oscar.
This movie gets made today. Who's in it? Who is in it if this movie gets remade today?
All right, let me see what I wrote down. So this is my cast.
Look, before you go, one rule and one rule only.
Yeah.
No Paul Giamatti.
Paul Giamatti is the mummy. They squeezed him into the coffin. But it wouldn't lock.
Murray, why do you love this guy?
Paul Giamatti's amazing.
I'm so confused. Like, I really am confused. Why?
No, Paul Giamatti, if you told Paul Giamatti to be the mummy, he would kill it.
Bro, but can you just do me this one favor? One favor. What's his most iconic? Wait, are you just obsessed with Billions?
Love Billions.
In my head.
This isn't about Paul Giamatti. He's not in my remake list.
Thank God. All right, thank God. All right, good. All right, keep going. I thought you were serious when you were telling me about him being the mummy. I was like, he's the whitest white dude I've ever seen. He's being the mummy. All right, give me.
He could be the librarian, but
no, you want the librarian to be Egyptian. He lives in Egypt. This is like.
But I also want it to be realistic, Swarwick. Okay.
All right, so give me a cast. Give me some people.
So the main character, the action hero, is going to be Jamie Foxx.
Okay. All right. Okay.
Now I switched it around. I made the nerdy dude and the nerdy character, the guy, and I made the pickpocket, the woman.
The woman?
They're not brother and sister.
That's a good decision.
They're friends.
Okay.
And the guy is Miles Teller. And the woman's Tessa Thompson.
But Miles Teller is a nerd. And Tessa Thompson. Okay. Tessa Thompson is a pickpocket I can see. Miles Teller is the nerd I can't see.
What do you mean you can't see?
I don't want Miles Teller as the nerd.
That's a solid pick. Miles Teller is a solid pick.
He's a decent pick. As like the nerd, I want like the social guy. The
Jesse Eisenberg?
Yes, that's a nerd. That's a nerd you can shut you down.
I'd rather have Paul Giamatti be a nerd than Jesse Eisenberg. Stop it.
Okay. No, but I really like Tessa Thompson, especially if you switch the roles around, because that is a great pick.
And then I put Sean Bean would be Benny.
Okay.
But he'd be playing a South African guy.
He'd be playing, okay.
Benny's South African.
You could throw that little nugget in there.
Benny's South African.
Benny's a South African.
He's not Hungarian.
Okay, that's fair. I like it. I do like your picks. I mean, that I would like be like gun ho, like I need this lady to play this part. Is I would keep the librarian the same thing, but I would want Rosario Dawson.
Rosario Dawson's a good pick.
I really want her to be that.
We might have to switch Miles Teller out for Rosario Dawson and just have Jamie Foxx, Rosario, and Tessa.
Exactly. That would be, if it was Jamie Foxx and Rosario Dawson, I think it would be
Miles Teller can be the opposite archaeological.
Oh yeah.
Leader of the opposite archaeological.
Yeah, and he could be a fuckboy. Yeah, he could be a dick on that side. But he'd be way too young to be the archaeology.
And then we could cross over with the
Miles Teller.
Aladdin.
No.
And Will Smith can be the genie. And he's just in there waiting.
Wait, no. Will Smith as the mummy would be
Will Smith
fantastic.
in the mummy would have been sick, but he can't do it anymore. Who should be the new mummy? You know who they wanted to be the old mummy before this? Daniel Day-Lewis.
I don't think that's
He's no way he does it. But
did you notice that we never mentioned Tom Cruise once? I just don't like that Tom Cruise movie. He's just so out of place. He makes all of the action scenes in that new Mummy movie fantastic, but like
he pretty much plays the same character as
the dude in Mission
Live, Die, Repeat. I mean, what's that movie called?
Edge of Tomorrow.
Edge of Tomorrow. Pretty much plays the same character,
but in Egypt.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, no. Comparing the two movies. As much shit as we've been talking about this movie, it's way better. It's way better. It's so much.
Being a period piece really helps this movie.
Yes, it really does. Making this in like modern times changes everything. It
Although
really does.
The pilot that just dies and then they just let this motherfucker sink into the earth. I like that. That's cool, man. Not gonna check his pulse or nothing.
Bro, that scene happened way too quick.
Way too quick. That scene needed to be like a minute at least. They literally just look. They get out of the plane. They look over. He's like sleeping. Dead. You could be sleeping for all you know.
Right, he could be like, knocked out. But they just
quicksand. We have to leave, and then they just watch this dude sink into the earth.
The thing that bothers me about it is, look. First of all, there's because I like the entire time, like when you first watching the movie, it's like he's just knocked out. He's just knocked out. He's awake. Get him out of the fucking plane because no one else is hurt. You don't see any blood on him or anything. Yeah. He's just there. Yeah. These dudes are assholes. They were like, all right, deuces. Thanks for the flight.
So the reason why I wanted this, because we had National Treasure and then The Mummy together and The Rundown. And they're all kind of adventure movies from the same era, late 90s, early 2000s. Action adventure movies. They just don't make them anymore.
No, not like this. They don't.
Not like this. And it's like this is the type of movie I wish Netflix made. Yeah. Like instead of making, have you checked out Extraction, the new Netflix movie?
Not yet, but I do want to.
It's literally like a John Wick in India type deal.
Yeah.
And it's like, there's like 50 of those. No, but if they got Chris Hemsworth to do this, like a swashbuckling movie, I mean, Chris Hemsworth would have knocked it out of the park. He's charismatic. He could have done this.
Yeah, I believe that. I really do believe it. I don't know. I just feel like I don't know. I feel like right now everyone is chasing the John Wick, the Fast and the Furious. They want like super, super hardcore action, but there's no adventure.
There's no fun.
You're right.
I mean, it's literally we're just watching them beat up Bangladeshi kids for 2 hours. Bro. It's not fun. You literally just. I mean, John Wick is like, but even John Wick, they kind of like, they do have some fun.
They do have some fun.
Some of these movies are just so serious from start to finish.
That's the thing. Like, you're right. We need more adventure. What's the last good adventure movie? No, well, look, the new
Jumanji's.
movie. Exactly, and the new movie The Rock is going to do with Emily Blunt. That's an adventure. Like, see, that's the 2020 version of The Mummy.
That and
a little lighter than The Mummy. A little lighter. It's a Disney movie, right?
Yeah. So that and like they're both like kids movies. That's the thing.
There's nothing in the middle. You're right. You're right. We'll see. We'll have to see. So Mumburi, we've been trashing this movie quite a bit. Did I convince you that this is a millennial classic, or is this?
I think it's a bubble. Was Too Fast, Too Furious a millennial classic?
Yeah. Well. Luckily, we had 3 people on, and 2 people voted yes, and you voted no. So I think Too Fast, Too Furious. Well, I think we can. Yes, I'm going to say yes.
No, we're going to have to do Tokyo Drift at some point.
Oh, sure. Let's.
That soundtrack is way more iconic. Honestly, this movie, if it had a better soundtrack.
Stop.
On the bubble. It's just a bubble movie.
It really is on the bubble. But like, so do me this favor. Tell me what could it have done for it to be a classic? Why are you?
I think if you
why are you saying it's not a classic?
If you have one better set piece, like
are you really going to talk about the set? Are we talking about the set
like an iconic action scene or iconic
No. I hear you. I hear what you're saying. That makes sense because the things that you remember about the movie are like it's not the actual scenes in the movie.
It's like someone yelling emo tap or like
exactly. It's like one thing. You don't remember a scene. It's not like a full out blown out or like a character or like a what's it called, a relationship or something. You remember like singular.
Or if they had a more of the adventure part where it was like clues and actually had Rachel Weisz doing stuff besides. She's literally like, we have to find a book, open it, and that's it.
Well,
but the book is where she thinks it is.
Yes. No, but at the same time, she is the archaeologist, so she does have most of the answers, all of the answers.
Let me see her dig, bro. You were talking about 2020, bro. Everyone needs to dig, man.
Yes. How does he come back alive? Like, how does that happen?
What do you mean?
You know how the Mummy 2, it's the same guy playing the Mummy in the Mummy 2, right?
You're gonna have to watch the Mummy 2.
Get the fuck out of here! Stop it! There's no way I'm doing that. But no, but like I was concerned at the end. I was like, the movie's over.
Someone brings him back.
Is it really just that simple?
Yeah.
Like they have the black book, they find the black book, and it's like
someone just brings him back. I can't remember the exact details.
Of course, who cared? It's the fucking Mummy 2. So this is fun. You guys look.
You know what? You know what has more iconic scenes than this movie?
What?
But it's a worse movie. You know Sahara, Matthew McConaughey?
Oh my God. I do remember Sahara.
That has way more iconic scenes.
That movie isn't bad at all.
I could convince that movie to be a millennial classic over this movie.
You can't.
We're doing Sahara.
Sorry, I don't care what you do, how you do it. You cannot convince anyone that Sahara is a millennial cast. It is a fun movie. That is a fun movie. All right, boys, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us. This is our first, technically our second, but I would call it the first not millennial classic. Well, we enjoyed it.
Non-classic classic.
It's a non-classic classic. It was a classic until we ended up watching
it.
It's a classic in the memories.
Yeah.
So if you're out there, don't watch it. Just remember the good times.
That's pretty much the spiel.
Exactly. All right, peace.